authorities caught a suspect. And it's been a busy start to the wildfire season as fire crews in Umatilla County battle another brush fire with how long it took for them to knock it down. And a much anticipated event in Walla Walla kicks off this weekend. We've got details on the Walla Walla Balloon Stampede. Plus, meteorologist Tiffany Savona will have your full forecast. Get ready, it's going to be a hot one. Good Morning Northwest starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest on your side.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. The time is 5:59, almost 6 a.m. on Friday, May 10th. We'll check in now on your forecast with meteorologist Tiffany Savona. Tiffany, what are we going to be seeing today? I know we have a warming trend. It was warmer yesterday. When are we getting those 90s? Maybe.
It looks like we'll have the 90s in a lot of spots as we head into the upcoming weekend, just in time for Mother's Day. So if mom is not a fan of the heat, you may want to opt to do something indoors, take mom indoors out to eat and avoid sitting on the deck or patio. But if mom likes the heat, well, you're in luck. Right now, we're taking a live look out of our studio camera in Kennewick, and we do have plenty of sunshine out there, and that sunshine will warm us up pretty quickly once again today. Temperatures are in the 40s and 50s, not quite as chilly as it has been, but still jacket weather. So definitely grab that jacket before heading out, or the sweatshirt or sweater. 47 in Tri-Cities, 51 in Walla Walla and Dayton, 51 in Toppenish, and 45 degrees in Yakima. So as you're stepping out the door, you'll need the jacket. You'll also need the sunglasses with those temperatures in the 40s. And by lunchtime, we should see temperatures climb into the mid and upper 70s. Winds will be light, so it'll be a perfect day to eat lunch outside, or maybe even fire up the grill once you get home from work. It'll be on the warm side as temperatures climb into the mid to upper 80s, but it's going to be a pretty nice evening if you have any evening plans, and it gets hotter this weekend. So we'll talk about that Mother's Day forecast in a little bit more detail, and we'll also talk about when we could see the northern lights here potentially across portions of Washington and Oregon. That's all coming up. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany. And starting off with information on the police situation that led to a lockdown of White Swan High School yesterday morning. According to the Yakima County Sheriff's Office, it started when a Wapato officer confronted a man driving a stolen car. The officer says the man smashed into the patrol car and then took off. Officers and deputies with the sheriff's office found the abandoned car in White Swan, so they contacted the high school nearby, and it was put into lockdown as a precaution. K-9 Simcoe was then called in, and the search for the suspect was short-lived, according to authorities, and they say Simcoe caught up with the man and he was arrested. Over to Milton Freewater now, where a motorcyclist was left with severe injuries after a police pursuit. According to the Milton Freewater Police Department, officers began chasing a motorcyclist after reports of him having a gun. Authorities say 26-year-old Mauricio James crashed his motorcycle after a short chase through Milton Freewater, reaching speeds of up to 80 miles per hour. Officers say they tended to his leg injuries at the scene, and he was taken to the hospital. His current condition is not yet known, and authorities say they found a gun near the crash site. And a man was arrested in Findlay after authorities say he was making threats to hurt members of his family. Deputies with the Benton County Sheriff's Office responded to a Findlay home. A call for help went out after a man there began making threats towards his family. Authorities say he had been using meth. Deputies say they were able to arrest the man and take him to jail without further problems. They say they also found meth and a gun. And shortly after that call, BCSO deputies responded to a call in West Richland on reports of a missing toddler. The family of the 2-year-old says they believe she got out the door when no one was watching and they could not find her. Family and friends began the search alongside authorities, but after an extensive search of the home, they say the toddler was found safe and sound. And a large brush fire in Umatilla County prompted evacuation notices in the area. Fire crews with Umatilla County Fire District 1, Echo Fire Department, Irrigan Fire Department, Pendleton Fire and Ambulance, Boardman Fire Rescue District, and Umatilla Rural Fire Protection District responded to Gear Road just before 3:30 for reports of the brush fire. Homes on Gear Road and West Hensel Road were evacuated, and other nearby areas were put on a notice. Nearly 3 hours later, the fire was under control and people were allowed to return to their homes. Fire officials say the fire burned about 40 acres and the cause is under investigation. In continuing coverage, some East Sela residents have been relying on bottled water for years after learning their wells had high levels of forever chemicals. And Army officials say the cleanup will take decades, but our very own Emily Goodell tells us they're making progress on a temporary solution.
I spoke to Lynn Mitzel, the latest East Sela resident to receive a free point of entry treatment system from the Army, and she says it's improved her life in many ways. For Mitzel, it's not just the prospect of drinking from her own tap again.
I love my well water and I love the taste of it, and I'll be so happy to have it back.
It's finally being able to sell her parents' home right across the street.
It was on the market for a year for way under listed price.
But once the Army put in a POET system, it sold quickly.
2 days for over asking.
And just in time.
We needed the money to pay for my mom's care, and that's why it was so important to push forward on it to get it sold.
The POET system's available to residents whose water tests for PFAS at or above 70 parts per trillion, paid for by the Army, which contracts with local companies for the installation.
We take a sample of the water from the well at each residence, analyze that, and then the team designs the POET system around that water and in any unique situation on each household.
Mitzel's home marks their 22nd installation.
We have 12 more that we're working on. So in total, we're looking at somewhere around 60 POET systems that we have for our plans for.
But now that the EPA has set the limit at 4 parts per trillion, it could add more homes to the list. Army officials say there's at least 52 homes that have tested between 4 and 7 parts per trillion that could potentially qualify for a free POET system, but
we're just waiting on any direction from the Army policy on that.
Army officials say they don't have a timeline yet on when that decision might be made, but we'll continue to keep you updated as we learn more on our website, applevalleynewsnow.com. Reporting from the Yakima newsroom, Emily Goodell, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Emily. And now to some stories on people making a difference in our community. Zilla Community Days is this weekend, and to kick it all off, people can join in the 5K for the fallen. The event is free, and it's an opportunity to honor a soldier who served. If you would like to sign up ahead of time for the 5K, you can stop by City Hall and get your bib. You can also sign up online at the city's website, and if you want to participate but don't have a name to honor, you'll receive a brief story and a name of one of 65,000 fallen service members. Crews in Richland are getting ready to shut down part of George Washington Way for the Cancer Crushing Challenge. The challenge is a 5K and a 10K, and the event will be this Saturday starting at 8 in the morning at the Howard Amon Park in Richland. To participate, you do have to pay $35 for adults and $25 for students. All the money will go directly to the Cadlex Cancer Center.
We're so excited about the Cancer Crushing Challenge this Saturday. We're just welcoming all community to come and join us, from children to adults, and I know that our most seasoned participant right now is 82 years old. So come out on Saturday, it'll be a lot of fun.
And if you're looking to join in the Cancer Crushing Challenge, there is still time to register. You can register until the morning of the event. And with Mother's Day this coming weekend, it's the perfect time for a plant sale. Organizers were out and about yesterday at Highlands Grange Park in Kennewick, setting things up. This will be the 31st annual Master Gardener Plant Sale. There will be a large selection of plants, veggies, fruits, garden art, and other outdoorsy type stuff. A Master Gardener will also be on hand to answer any and all questions about gardening.
Because the weather is great, number one, you can just about grow anything here, right? And I think there's a lot of people that are passionate about sustainability and taking care of the environment. And so there's a lot of people out there that love to garden. And it's growing every year because of the sustainability issues, the environment.
Admission is free, and the plant sale will be from 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. on Friday. And on Saturday, the hours will be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. And again, this is in Kennewick at Highlands Grange Park and at the roller rink. And the Walla Walla Balloon Stampede is underway right now. So hot air balloons will take to the sky this morning around now to 7. Riley Fitzgerald is there right now, and she typically goes up in the basket for these kinds of events. But this year, Riley's going to bring us a different kind of story. So there's hundreds of people helping out at the Walla Walla Balloon Stampede, from the ground crew to the balloon chasers and much more. And Riley is going to be tagging along on the ground to bring us the volunteer perspective. She'll have a sneak peek tonight on Apple Valley News Now at 6, and the whole story on Monday morning for us. And once again, in Walla Walla, balloons are up. You can see people are already taken off. We saw last hour them setting up, and now we see more of them taking off. And don't forget, if you're there, to take some photos and send them to us. Those are all beautiful balloons. I can't wait to go in one day. Manifesting it. Well, coming up on Good Morning Northwest, colleges around the country that had ceasefire protests are canceling graduations. The response from students and what one lawmaker is saying to Columbia grads in his district. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with that.
You heard a screech outside at night, but you can't see what it is because there's not enough light. You need the Bionic Floodlight from Bell & Howell, the solar-powered, motion-activated, multi-directional floodlight, the versatile wireless, safety, security, and outdoor lifestyle light you'll love. And right now, it's yours for just $29.99, and the shipping is free. Order now, and we'll send a second Bionic Floodlight. Just pay a separate fee. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-248-8281 or order online at bionicfloodlight.com.
It's a sit, sleep, and relax sale at Walker's Furniture as they kick off their Memorial Day savings early.
Everything you can sit down on, fall asleep on, or recline back in comfort on is on sale, with even bigger savings up to 70% off clearance items.
Take advantage of early Memorial Day savings, plus special 5 years financing is available with no money down, making it the perfect time to kick back, relax, and save.
This week at Walker's.
Save now with Bi-Mart's latest savings book. There's 16 pages of store-wide savings. Pick up a copy in-store today. Perfect for Mother's Day. Save $5 on 10-inch flowering baskets. All Montana Silversmith jewelry is 25% off. Plus, save $50 on a Next Grill 12-inch stainless steel pizza oven. Find these savings and more in our latest savings book at Bi-Mart, your Northwest employee-owned membership store.
No matter what roads lead you home, McCurley Mazda is about to make your journey even better. Whether it's cruising riverside highways, winding vineyard trails, or anywhere else your travels take you, now is the perfect time to upgrade your way home. Visit McCurley in the Pasco Autoplex today for this special offer.
Find your way home in a new 2024 Mazda CX-5 with 0% financing up to 60 months from McCurley Mazda.
At Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds, we've got you covered. We offer a variety of buildings and sheds that come with a 5-year limited warranty, free delivery, and setup. Whether you're ready to custom create your space or just need extra storage, we're here to help every step of the way. All in-stock buildings can be delivered within 7 to 10 days and custom builds in 3 to 4 weeks. So what are you waiting for? Find your perfect building or shed today with Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds in West Richland.
This newscast sponsored by Mariano Morales Law.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. So some university graduations that had been scheduled for today or the next few days are not happening. Several schools that have seen pro-Palestinian demonstrations are canceling or modifying their ceremonies. Amy Kiley reports it all comes down to safety concerns.
I'm grateful to have the degree, but of course it would have been nice to have that celebration.
Today is when the University of Southern California main commencement ceremony was supposed to take place, but it's one of a handful of schools canceling or modifying graduation plans. The institutions say they're worried about safety in light of recent events at pro-Palestinian demonstrations on campus. A celebration at LA's Memorial Coliseum last night is USC's idea for a graduation replacement.
My parents flew in all the way from Peru.
Cal Poly Humboldt says its campus remains closed through Sunday. It's holding commencement ceremonies at 3 off-site locations tomorrow. Some faculty there say they want the president to step down, largely over his handling of recent protests.
Everything that occurred afterward is outfall from that poor decision. has led all of us to a real deep concern and lack of faith in leadership.
Emory University in Atlanta says it'll hold its ceremony off campus Monday. The school says it made the decision with input from Emory police and security advisors. And where the movement began, Columbia University says its main ceremony that had been scheduled for Wednesday is canceled. I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
New York Congressman Anthony D'Esposito sent a letter to Columbia University's president and asked for a list of names of the students who were graduating from his district. He says he wants to give the students a graduation ceremony they deserve. And if you have plans to fly through the Seattle airport this weekend, listen up. Prepare yourself for delays. President Biden is making a visit to the area, and the FAA says restricted airspace will be in effect at SeaTac starting 5:15 p.m. Friday to 2:45 p.m. Saturday. All traffic will be stopped on runways until Air Force One arrives and is parked. Security protocols require the airport to stop all air traffic at least 30 minutes before the arrival of the president's plane. Coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, the Northern Lights could make for a nice presentation in the sky this weekend. Tiffany has more on that in her first alert full weather forecast. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. And looking now at the Walla Walla Balloon Stampede, a few people just took off. Riley Fitzgerald is there right now, getting us a behind-the-scenes scoop on what volunteers do. Don't go anywhere. We'll have more details coming up.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
Here at the clinic, we stay up to date on the latest research and we offer cutting-edge therapies. We treat a number of different conditions, specifically Parkinson's disease, stroke recovery, traumatic brain injury, fibromyalgia, diabetes. We also treat folks dealing with cognitive decline due to aging.
We all have dreams and ideas about how life is going to be, and then life happens, and it's not necessarily what we pictured. So how do we deal with that? I've lived with multiple sclerosis for years. It's realizing that it's all one system. How do you reset your goals so that you can live a happy, healthy life even with chronic illness? And I can attest, yes, you can. My life is incredibly happy.
We first start by improving oxygen utilization in the cells because healthy cells are well oxygenated. We then work towards improving areas of the brain that are inefficient, and for this we use a number of different modalities. We offer oxygen contrast therapy, hyperbaric oxygen therapy, transcranial photobiomodulation, and our latest addition, brain high-intensity interval training.
We also build a schedule for the patient that makes it easy to adapt their game plan to their lives and the therapies they do inside the clinic. To get started, call 509-783-5465 and schedule an appointment with a client advocate today.
Visit us at our new urban wine bar in historic downtown Kennewick. Choose from a variety of wines and food from our expanded menu. Enjoy time with friends old and new. After hours with riverfront views from our shaded patio, we are Murray Gaston Wine Bar.
Tonight, a minister charged with murder.
Your husband is being accused of murdering 2 white teenage girls.
Both of them were shot, execution style.
Maybe you were living with somebody you just didn't know.
The new 2020 tonight on ABC.
Take a trip high above Cougar Bay Preserve with wetlands, meadows, trails, and more.
Family-friendly trail, so very, very beginner. There are some steep inclines, but it's moderate. It's a great place.
Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
Celebrate Mother's Day with Live's I Love Mom show with Jennifer Lopez and Mariska Hargitay. Plus, Live hits the streets for a special Mother's Day tribute.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
This newscast sponsored by Washington State Department of Revenue's Working Families Tax Credit. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Tiffany Savona.
It was a warm day yesterday, and we continue to warm overnight. In fact, we're about 5 to 13 degrees warmer than where we were just 24 hours ago. And that puts us in the 40s and 50s this morning. So we really don't have any 30s. The exception now in Ellensburg, you've dropped to 39 degrees. So that's the isolated cool spot this morning. Otherwise, it's not that bad. It's 47 in Tri-Cities, 47 in Prosser, 49 in Toppenish, and 51 in Walla Walla. But it's definitely jacket weather out there, and you need the shades because we do have wall-to-wall sunshine outside of our studio camera in Kennewick, and our satellite imagery really not showing anything out there this morning as high pressure firmly in control of our weather as it builds in from the south and west. Remember, high pressure means sinking air, so that doesn't allow clouds to form. That's why we are going to stay sunny today. And the warm-up continues as this ridge of high pressure continues to build. Hottest day of the week will be tomorrow with that ridge of high pressure directly overhead. And then notice it starts to shift south and break down. It's still hot since we're sort of still under that influence on Sunday, but notice that tip of the jet stream just to our west. That's our next storm system that will be moving in. It's not necessarily going to bring us rain, but it will bring us a slight cool down as we head into early next week. So today, prepare for the heat. 88 degrees in Tri-Cities, 84 Connell, 86 at Hanford, 85 in Toppenish, and 82 in Walla Walla. Tonight, clear and cool, not as chilly as it has been. We should only drop into the upper 40s and lower 50s. 48 in Tri-Cities and Hermiston, 50 Walla Walla, 53 in Toppenish, and 48 degrees in Yakima. Tomorrow could potentially be our first 90-degree day of the year, and we typically see our first 90-degree day at some time during the month of May. So we're kind of on track for that. Some locations will be a little bit early. 92 for your high in Tri-Cities, 90 degrees in Prosser, 87 in Walla Walla, and 90 in Yakima. Your Mother's Day planner is showing that if you take mom out to breakfast, that's probably the most comfortable part of the day with temperatures in the 60s. You'll need the glasses if you are sitting outside, the sunglasses that is. Then the wind picks up a little bit more by lunchtime and even into dinner time. Temperatures in the 80s around lunchtime and 90 as you're heading out to dinner. So if you have plans to go out to a restaurant, they have a deck or patio, you may want to opt to sit inside this weekend with that AC if you don't like the heat. Here's some early season heat safety. You want to wear that sunscreen, find it, and reapply it every 2 hours, at least SPF 30 or higher. Stay hydrated, drink plenty of water. Now keep in mind, the snow continues to melt along the higher elevations. That's going to lead to a rise in the river levels. It's going to create fast moving water, and that water is very cold. So keep the kids away from any rivers and tell them they cannot go in the rivers this time of year because they can be very dangerous. And be sure to check on the young kids and the elderly, of course. 7-day forecast showing it's going to feel more like summer this Mother's Day. 92 on Saturday, 90 on Sunday, and then we cool it down a little bit into the low middle 80s, much higher than the average high of 75. Yakima, 86 today, 90 tomorrow, 89 on Mother's Day, and then we drop it into the 70s. Walla Walla, 82 today, 87 tomorrow, 86 on Mother's Day. It's not quite as hot, but still very warm. And then we'll enjoy those 70s next week. 86 in Hermiston, 90 tomorrow, and 88 on Sunday. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany. And now talking about weather phenomenon, a severe solar storm could trigger the northern lights as far south as Alabama. The Space Weather Prediction Center says at least 5 coronal mass ejections have been directed towards Earth. These explosions of plasma and magnetic fields from the sun's corona create the storm. If strong enough, the storms could impact infrastructure, potentially disrupting communications, the electric power grid, navigation, radio, and satellite operations. And Tiffany, I know that you know exactly where this is going to be hitting, where we can see the northern lights. Will we be able to see it right here? Because I've never seen it and I really want to.
I haven't either yet. It's definitely a bucket list item for me, and I think the weather is going to cooperate where we should be able to view the northern lights if indeed it does put on a show. So the Space Weather Prediction Center has actually issued their first severe geomagnetic storm watch since January of 2005. That's almost 20 years ago. So this is a highly unusual event, as Jessica just mentioned. And if you want to try to see the Aurora Borealis or the Northern Lights this weekend, here is the map. It may be seen as far south as Alabama, but you can see visible on the horizon, that line across portions of Oregon and into Wyoming, Colorado, Nebraska, and into portions of the Mid-Atlantic. But it becomes more and more likely and more visible the farther north you go. So I think there is a good chance that we'll be able to see it here in the Columbia Basin, the Yakima Valley, and also the foothills of the Blues if indeed we do get those solar flares and those sunspots to create the northern lights. So be on the lookout for that. This is going to be tomorrow night. There is a slight chance you may be able to see it tonight, but I think the better chance tonight will be farther north of us. Tomorrow night will provide the better opportunity. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany. And straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, researchers reveal more on the bird flu situation with milk, what they found and why they warn it could lead to another pandemic. Details next.
You're gonna need a new bumper.
Did you say burger, guac, cheese, Santa Fe burger sauce, burger, jalapeno pepper, cheese, burger, cheese, burger, spicy cheese, bacon, guac, cheese, bacon.
Hey, burger! Good burger.
Life can be hard. With Culligan, your water doesn't have to be.
Something is weird. Look around. All possible Triple Play customers are perfectly represented right now.
Wait, really?
There's the family, the group of adult friends, kids on their school trip.
And the first date couple, and the grandparents with their grandkids.
It's just too perfect. I knew it. They're shooting a commercial.
I thought we were better than that.
Triple Play has fun attractions for everyone, including go-karts, mini golf, and many more, all attached to a cozy hotel.
We just thought...
If it's hidden, you might get bitten.
When Fred's advertises it, we've got it. Fred's warehouses are loaded with inventory. When your fridge stops working, you need a new one, and you need it now. Fred's has them in stock. The box stores never have this much inventory on hand. You can wait weeks for delivery. At Fred's, get your new appliance the next day. Fred's always has the guaranteed lowest price and shows you competitors' prices on our price tags. Fred's Appliance. We sell appliances, only appliances.
At Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds, we've got you covered. We offer a variety of buildings and sheds that come with a 5-year limited warranty, free delivery, and setup. Whether you're ready to custom create your space or just need extra storage, we're here to help every step of the way. All in-stock buildings can be delivered within 7 to 10 days and custom builds in 3 to 4 weeks. So what are you waiting for? Find your perfect building or shed today with Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds in West Richland.
E.T.'s Irwin family exclusive.
What is a fun memory with your dad?
Bindi with brother Robert and mom Terry, plus her Mother's Day plans with 3-year-old daughter Grace.
Next,
E.T.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
The El Diablo Burger is back at Carl's Jr. Habanero, jalapeno poppers, bacon. Give in to your devilish desires.
You don't have to tell me twice.
I figured El Diablo is back for eternity. Only at Carl's Jr.
Hey, burger! Good burger.
This newscast sponsored by Nissan.
Welcome back. In your health headlines this morning, the H5N1 influenza virus, also known as bird flu, has rocked the dairy industry recently, and now public health officials around the world are on alert. Researchers at this time say they don't know how the cows were infected. They say cows have the same receptors for flu viruses as humans and birds. Scientists fear cows could be mixing bowls, hosts that help the virus learn to better spread between people. And while it is a rare event, experts say that could put us on the path to another pandemic. And coming up on Good Morning Northwest, police departments around the country are working to get illegal guns off the streets. But the Pasco Police Department is saying about its efforts to combat this kind of crime. And a new housing complex opens in Pasco. You won't believe the rent price. How you can qualify, details coming up.
This Memorial Day at Furniture Row, we're prepping for savings so big, they're backing them in by the truckload. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Check out Doorbusters while they last. Plus 6 years, no interest. The Memorial Day Super Sale. On now at Furniture Row.
When you need legal help, trust Quantum Legal. In football, your team can have a bad season. In real life, when you are having a bad season, you can call Quantum Legal. We're here for you in times of trouble, whether you need assistance with criminal defense, personal injury, or have been injured on the job. And with tens of millions of dollars collected on behalf of clients, we will find the best solution for your situation. Call us today at 509-783-5551 or visit us online at quantumlegal.com.
It's Ford SUV season. Time to get out there and take on adventure in a whole new way. Start with great offers on Ford Escape, Explorer, Mustang Mach-E, and Expedition. And experience Ford Blue Cruise hands-free highway driving. Available on select vehicles. It's Ford SUV season. Let's get going. Get 0% APR for 72 months and $3,000 flex buy cash on an Escape. Or up to $3,000 cash on a Mustang Mach-E. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Your best days of the year start here at Kubota Orange Days. It's the year's biggest selection of Kubota tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles, including the #1 selling compact tractor in the USA. Plus the year's best deals like 0% APR for 84 months or up to $3,300 off select compact tractors. Orange goes all day. Sales ending soon. Visit your local dealer today.
Find a Kubota dealer near you at gokubota.com.
No matter what roads lead you home, McCurley Mazda is about to make your journey even better. Whether it's cruising riverside highways, winding vineyard trails, or anywhere else your travels take you, now is the perfect time to upgrade your way home. Visit McCurley and the Pasco Autoplex today for this special offer.
Find your way home in a new 2024 Mazda CX-5 with 0% financing up to 60 months from McCurley Mazda.
Choice Student Checking. Open yours today at any Yakima Federal Savings and Loan.
It's the Memorial Day Super Sale at Denver Mattress. Right now, save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Or check out the Summit for only $299.99, plus 6 years no interest and free shipping. The Memorial Day Super Sale on now at Denver Mattress.
E.T. and Extra tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Extra, extra.
Right now in Good Morning Northwest, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office confirms an investigation on Franklin County elected officials. What we know so far. And police departments around the country are working to get illegal guns off the streets. How the Pasco Police Department is fighting back against this crime. And a new housing complex is open in Pasco, but is it available and can you afford it? Why you may be surprised.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal. The time is 6:30 on Friday, May 10th. We'll check in now on your forecast with meteorologist Tiffany Savona. Tiffany, what are we seeing outside now? I know the sun's coming up earlier. I'm loving that. And I know we're getting warmer. What more can you tell us?
We are, yes. We could potentially see our first 90-degree day of the year this weekend. And with those later sunsets, it allows you to be outside later with the kids to enjoy that warmer weather. We're taking a live look outside right now. Like Jessica mentioned, lots of sunshine out of our studio camera in Kennewick. It's a beautiful start to your Friday. That should put you in a good mood, and it's not too terribly cold out there. It's on the cooler side, so you'll likely need that extra layer, that sweatshirt, jacket, or even sweater before heading off to work. 51 in Walla Walla, 52 in Dayton, it's 47 in Tri-Cities, 49 Connell, and 45 in Yakima. But as the kids are heading off to catch the bus in an hour or two, temperatures will be jumping into the upper 50s, upper 70s as they're heading out to recess. So they may be breaking a sweat today and then heading home. Highs or temperatures then in the middle 80s with highs in the upper 80s. So a great day to let the kids stay out a little bit longer later on this afternoon and even into the evening hours. If you want to fire up the grill or just sit out on the deck or patio, temperatures will be falling into the 80s. 7 o'clock, sun still up, 84, but then after sunset, which is just before 8:30, those temperatures will be dropping into the 70s. We'll talk more about that summer-like heat expected this weekend. We'll break down your Mother's Day forecast and have a look at the 7-day coming up in a bit. Jessica?
Thank you. So now police departments all across the country as well are on a mission to get illegal guns off the streets. Our Austin Reed tells us Pasco police officers say just this week they've confiscated 3 guns.
When you start putting guns in the hands of people that are using drugs and out in our community with this violence, we have no place for that.
The mission first started Sunday with officers responding to La Tropicana nightclub on Columbia Street after receiving a report of a 17-year-old male at that location with a gun. Further investigation revealed the male was upset about being denied entry. He displaced a gun to the nightclub security and threatened to shoot up the club before he proceeded inside. Police also say an AR-style pistol was removed from the suspect's waistband. Nobody was hurt. 2 other juveniles were also arrested.
I watched the body camera footage from that. I ended up going out to work that night with them as well, but I watched the body camera footage, and the officers sprinted from their cars as fast as they could into the building, found the individual on the dance floor, basically throwing gang signs at the DJ.
The second case a couple days later, involving a mother who was located passed out behind the wheel at a U-Haul storage center with her toddler in the back seat. Lots of drugs and a gun were found inside the woman's purse. The toddler was okay. The mom was taken to jail.
We're just glad that the kid was safe. The kid was fine. Fire department was there. They got to take the kid. They got to give her a stuffed animal, and she was happy as could be.
And on Wednesday, if you happen to be at the Albertsons on 20th Avenue in Pasco, you may have seen a bit of commotion. That's because 2 armed robbery suspects were taken into custody and a bonus stolen gun was recovered. Pasco PD tells me these resolutions are thanks to people in the community seeing something and saying something and in-depth investigative work.
Yeah, so that one actually came about by some really good police work and an eagle-eyed employee at the Albertsons. So one of our detectives was following up on a robbery investigation when they had shown robbery suspect image to some Albertsons employees, and the employee happened to recognize the suspect when they came into their store.
In April 2024, the ATF reported that 68,000 guns were illegally trafficked through unlicensed dealers between 2017 and 2021. The agency said these guns were used in 368 shootings. And in developing news now, out of Franklin County, the Sheriff's Office confirms it's investigating several elected officials. The Sheriff's Office says County Auditor Matt Beaton and Commissioner Rocky Mullen are under investigation for complaints of witness tampering, official misconduct, making false statements, and intimidation. The Sheriff's Office says the investigation stems from a complaint made by County Administrator Mike Gonzalez, as well as the prosecutor's office. At least 2 search warrants in the case have been unsealed, and the third person under investigation has not officially been named. The Bend County Sheriff's Office is also assisting in the investigation. And Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson is taking legal action against the Catholic Church in Seattle, accusing the Archdiocese of refusing to cooperate with his investigation into whether the Catholic Church in Washington used charitable donations to cover up accusations of child sex abuse. Ferguson says typically his office would not publicize the investigation at this time, but he says the Seattle Archdiocese forced a different approach.
The Archdiocese has, unfortunately, refused to cooperate with our investigation, has refused to provide any of the information to us that we're requesting that's not already been made public. So as a result, we're going to court today to ask a judge to compel the Archdiocese to turn over those documents.
Ferguson says his office also sent subpoenas to the Yakima and Spokane Diocese last summer, and he's prepared to take them to court as well if they don't cooperate. The Diocese of Yakima responded saying that it's willing to work with the Attorney General's office, but adding, quote, "The subpoena is not authorized by any statute and it runs afoul of the guarantees of the First Amendment." And the diocese says we can, quote again, "We cannot publicize everything in our records to respect the privacy and confidentiality rights of, among others, both victims and falsely accused clergy." And the city of Yakima has finally broken ground on the new aquatic center in East Yakima, but they're still about $500,000 short of the money that they need to fund the more than $11 million project. The Yakima Valley Community Foundation is accepting donations for that project and has collected everything from big contributions to jars full of pennies brought in by children. But they're also bringing in donations to keep arts alive, support Native women in action, and improve local parks. Their latest fund to provide new shoes to children in the Yakima Valley before the next school year.
People can actually drop new new shoes for children, any size kind of mode, at a variety of locations, and that's a fun when we said, yeah, we can do that, sure.
And you can see a full list of the funds they're collecting donations for at yakimavalleycf.org. And local growth and development is coming soon to Pasco. ProMade Homes held a ribbon cutting, and our very own Monique Ledesma attended the ceremony and talked to some of the people involved.
ProMade Homes is adding 479 new townhomes. These new townhomes are located in Pasco. Now they already broke ground, and this Thursday they had their ribbon cutting ceremony. At the ribbon cutting ceremony, I spoke with the designer Rita Maxenchuk, who says she's excited to see the project become a reality.
I feel like we blinked once and we broke ground, and we are going to blink again, and the community is going to get filled up.
City of Pasco Director of Community and Economic Development says in a statement that these new townhomes will help with the housing shortage in Pasco and, in quote, meet the growing demands for more diverse housing opportunities. And this development will also create an extension of Pasco's multi-modal transportation network and provide much-needed recreational space for residents. ProMade Homes broker Amy Likes says they're hoping the new townhomes will help build community.
Something that's unique to our community, with having it be a planned community and having dog parks, extra amenities like a community pool and clubhouse.
The townhomes are set to be ready by late fall and early winter. There's also already a wait list. Reporting in Pasco, Monique Ledesma, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Monique. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, we're talking about sriracha. Details in a little bit.
Visit Cougar Bay Preserve on Fly the Northwest. Apple Valley News Now at 6 Tuesday.
If you'd like to improve your sleep on a new Serta or Beauty Rest mattress, then you're going to love the Sit, Sleep, and Relax sale at Walker's Furniture, where the Memorial Day savings are starting early with big discounts on Beauty Rest, Serta, and over 40 more styles of the best name brand mattresses. Plus, special 5 years financing is available with no money down, so you can improve your sleep today and pay over time. Plus, get up to $300 of additional free furniture with select sets sold this week at Walker's.
Save now at Buy Mart with our latest savings book. Watch for it in your mailbox or pick up a copy in store. From Mother's Day gifts to spring gardening essentials and more, save now at Buy Mart. Northwest employee owned for 20 years.
Sometimes it's hard to see past the looming repair and replacement costs all around your house. Finally, you can stop seeing money and start saving money with First American Home Warranty. First American covers the systems and appliances you depend on every day. Air conditioning, refrigerator, washer and dryer, electrical, plumbing, and more.
If there's one guarantee in home ownership, it's that things are going to break down.
When an appliance or system breaks down, First American sends a trusted contractor to fix it.
And if they can't fix it, they will replace it.
Members pay low monthly rates with unlimited claims and 24/7 customer service.
We've saved thousands of dollars that we've been able to reinvest into our home.
All plans include a no questions asked money back guarantee and flexible payment options so you can never pay for covered repairs again.
Call 1-800-209-8578. That's 1-800-209-8578. Call now.
The race continues for over $13,000 in cash and prizes with Wild Horse Resort and Casino's $125,000 Derby Dash for cash and prizes. Play all week to earn entries, then multiply them on Thursdays. Drawings every Friday and Saturday. Pick your lucky horse and ride away with up to $700 cash. Then join us on Saturday, May 25th for the $15,000 grand prize. 3 winners will race toward the finish line, and the winner takes home $10,000 cash. Wild Horse Resort and Casino. More winners, more often.
Celebrate Mother's Day with Live's I Love Mom show with Jennifer Lopez and Mariska Hargitay. Plus, Live hits the streets for a special Mother's Day tribute.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
E.T.'s Irwin Family Exclusive.
What is a fun memory with your dad?
Bindi with brother Robert and mom Terry, plus her Mother's Day plans with 3-year-old daughter Grace.
Next,
E.T.
Tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Next extra. Therese Giudice's family war is about to go nuclear.
That chapter's closed.
How can it be?
Chapter's closed.
The Real Housewives drama, Teresa says she cannot forgive. Next extra.
Tonight at 7:30 on Apple Valley News Now.
Welcome back. In your business headlines this morning, we may see another sriracha shortage in the near future. California-based Hui Fong Foods says it'll not produce any more of the popular hot sauce until after Labor Day. The company says the red jalapeno peppers the sauce needs are too green, affecting the color of the sriracha. The company's red winter jalapeno peppers are grown in Mexico, where there's currently a severe drought. And for the past 26 years, budget-minded health seekers could work out at Planet Fitness for $10 a month. The largest gym chain in the U.S. is hiking that rate by 50% to $15 a month. $10 a month has been central to the gym's brand for more than 2 decades. That cheap price has been successful at drawing in new members. It's also kept people paying even if they don't visit the gym frequently. One thing that's not changing is the Planet Fitness Black Club membership, and that's the $25 tier that lets members visit any club. And coming up next on Good Morning Northwest, Tiffany has your full forecast. She'll let you know how warm we're getting today. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Tonight, a minister charged with murder.
Your husband is being accused of murdering 2 white teenage girls.
Both of them were shot, execution style.
Maybe you were living with somebody you just didn't know.
The new 2020 tonight on ABC.
Right now, save big at Meredith Furniture. Buy 1 recliner and get the second one free. With recliners on sale as low as $5.99 and the second one free. Choose from many different styles and colors. Come into the store for more details. Prices like this won't last forever. Relax in comfort with not just 1, but 2 recliners. That's right. You don't want to miss this buy 1, get 1 free event at Meredith Furniture while supplies last. Meredith Furniture on South First in Washington, right next to Hobby Lobby.
The journey home can look a little different to everyone. For some, it's smooth and straight. For others, it's winding vineyard roads or rugged desert trails. But what really matters most is where you're headed. That's why our expert technicians are here to make sure that wherever you feel at home, whether it's when you're hard at work, surrounded by loved ones, or cheering them on from the sidelines, you get there. Our certified and trained vehicle experts are committed to keeping you on the road and getting you there safely. Because we know a vehicle is really more than a vehicle. It's your way home.
Drive home in a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz with financing as low as 2.99% from Mercedes-Benz of Tri-Cities.
From Apple Valley News Now, this is Medically Speaking.
Atomic Health pays me to do the in-home, I guess nursing or the things I do to help out, so we don't need a nurse. Meds, cooking, cleaning, getting him to doctor's appointments, picking up prescriptions, whatever else needs to be done. So at least once a month or whenever I need her, Sarah or whatever nurse is available comes to our house. If I have a worry that I'm not sure if he needs to go to the doctor, she comes and advises me and does an assessment and tells me if there's anything I need to do different, or I don't know that I could do this without him.
So we'll definitely evaluate their past employment. As a registered nurse myself, I'll look through their medical records and I'll look to see maybe what medical conditions they have, and we'll be very upfront with them, honest about whether they do have a claim that could warrant benefits or not.
Tonight, a minister charged with murder.
Your husband is being accused of murdering 2 white teenage girls.
Both of them were shot, execution style.
Maybe you were living with somebody you just didn't know.
The new 2020 tonight on ABC.
This newscast sponsored by Nissan. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Tiffany Savona.
Good morning and happy Friday, everyone. We're looking at some fantastic weather as we head into the weekend. Fantastic if you like the heat, but at least it's going to be dry for those outdoor activities, unlike last weekend. So we're taking a live look out of our Kennewick studio camera here, and we do have plenty of sunshine. Temperatures are starting off on the cooler side. We're in the 40s and 50s, but it's not quite as chilly as it has been the past couple of mornings. 47 in Tri-Cities, 51 in Walla Walla, 49 in Connell, 45 in Yakima, and 51 in Toppenish. So just because our high temperatures are warming up means that we'll see our low temperatures warming up as well. Now, the winds have been light this morning and they'll stay pretty light throughout the day today. Satellite imagery not showing anything. We're pretty hard pressed to see a cloud in the sky out there this morning, and we really won't see any this afternoon either, all thanks to this big blue H, this ridge of high pressure promoting sinking air, eliminating the chance for any clouds and precipitation, and continuing our warm up today. Tomorrow is going to be the hottest day of the week with that high directly overhead. But watch what happens. We'll see a pattern change on Sunday. That high starts to shift a little bit more to the south and east. That allows our next storm system to start to move onshore. That'll bring us a few more clouds. It doesn't look like it's going to bring us any rain, but it will bring slightly cooler air into the region. So we'll see a slight cool down by early next week. Not cooling down today, though. 88 in Tri-Cities, 82 Walla Walla, 84 Connell, 86 in Yakima, and 85 in Toppenish. We have a good opportunity to spot the ISS tonight because the weather is going to cooperate. So if you're going to be up close to 10:30, take a peek outside. The pass starts at exactly 10:19. It'll last 7 minutes, which is a pretty long time for an ISS pass. The maximum height above the horizon, 75 degrees, which is almost straight up, since straight up is 90. And it'll be traveling in the southwest sky over to the east-northeast sky. In the morning, if you're getting up and running any errands early, or if the kids have any sports practice, it's not going to be too bad out there. Upper 50s, or upper 40s rather, and lower 50s. Tomorrow afternoon, heating it up even more, feeling more like summer. 92 for your high in Tri-Cities. Hanford, Yakima, 90 degrees, 92 in Toppenish, 90 in Hermiston. And we'll keep it in the mid and upper 80s along the foothills of the Blues. And this is not going to break any records. I looked up the records, and record highs this weekend are in the upper 90s. So those will probably remain safe. However, our average is in the mid 70s. That just shows you how much above average we're going to be. And that above average weather will continue into Mother's Day. If you take a mom out to eat and you want the more comfortable weather, we'll go out for breakfast. Temperatures in the 60s. Brunch will be in the 70s. That'll be nice. Lunchtime, 80s. The wind will be picking up, so it may be a little bit tougher to eat outside if the wind is blowing things around. And dinner time, highs around 90 degrees. So you may want to take mom out for ice cream instead. Here's some early season heat safety tips. You want to wear that sunscreen since the UV index is going to be high, and reapply every 2 hours at least. If you're going to be swimming in a pool, reapply even earlier. Now, we do expect to stay hydrated and drink plenty of water. Keep in mind, the rivers are flowing very quickly thanks to that snow melt, and that's going to cause the river levels to rise. The water temperatures are very low. It's very cold. So keep that in mind. Keep the kids away from swimming in any rivers this time of year, because if they do fall in, it's very dangerous. It's dangerously cold, and that cold water kind of freezes up your body to get out. So keep that in mind. That can be very dangerous. Temperatures in the lower 90s this weekend, and then we cool it down a little bit next week. Temperatures falling into the 80s. 86 today in Yakima, 90 tomorrow, 89 on Sunday for Mother's Day, and then upper 70s. Walla Walla, we're finally in the 80s today. We'll keep it warm, middle 80s this weekend. 86 today in Hermiston, 90 on Saturday, and 88 on Mother's Day. Jessica?
Thank you, Tiffany. And don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the final check on your forecast in the morning sprint. But first, here's a look at what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, surviving a shark swarm.
1 second I was jumping on the boat, everything was fine. And, next second I'm in the water with, a lot of sharks.
24-year-old Floridian Marlon Wakeman was working on a boat docked in the Bahamas when he slipped into shark-infested waters. And this morning, he's telling his story to GMA.
I was able to get my left hand back onto the side of the boat. And as I was going to put my right hand back on the side of the boat, the shark came up behind my right shoulder and try to bite me back here.
Generally speaking, these shark attacks, as they call them, are mistaken identity. It's a shark usually reacting to other food in the area, might be reacting to a frenzy. They're just trying to get as much food as possible, as quickly as possible, before other sharks outcompete them for that food.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more of this shark survival story with your GMA First Look. I'm Stephanie Ramos, ABC News.
I told myself I was okay with my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis symptoms.
With my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. But just okay isn't okay.
And I was done settling.
If you still have symptoms after a TNF blocker like Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq is different and may help. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve joint pain, stiffness, and swelling in RA and PSA, relieve fatigue, and stop further joint damage. And in PSA, can leave skin clear or almost clear.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin, heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occurred. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Done settling?
Ask your rheumatologist for Rinvoq.
And take back what's yours.
AbbVie could help you save.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time right now is 6:53. Let's take a look at your top headlines. Starting off, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office confirms it's investigating several elected officials. The Sheriff's Office says County Auditor Matt Beaton and Commissioner Rocky Mullen are under investigation for complaints of witness tampering, official misconduct, making false statements, and intimidation. The Bend County Sheriff's Office is also assisting in the investigation. Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson is taking legal action against the Catholic Church in Seattle, accusing the Archdiocese of refusing to cooperate with his investigation into whether the Catholic Church in Washington used charitable donations to cover up accusations of child sex abuse. Ferguson says his office also sent subpoenas to the Yakima and Spokane Diocese. The Diocese of Yakima responded saying that it's willing to work with the Attorney General's office, but adding, quote, "The subpoena is not authorized by any statute and it runs afoul of the guarantees of the First Amendment." Zilla Community Days is this weekend, and to kick it all off, people can join in the 5K for the fallen. The event is free, and it's an opportunity to honor a soldier who served. If you would like to sign up ahead of time for the 5K, you can stop by City Hall and get your bib. You can also sign up online at the city's website. Crews in Richland are getting ready to shut down part of George Washington Way for the Cancer Crushing Challenge. The challenge is a 5K or a 10K, and the event will be this Saturday starting at 8 in the morning at the Howard Amon Park in Richland. All the money will go directly to the Cadlick Cancer Center. And with Mother's Day this coming weekend, it's the perfect time for a plant sale. This will be the 31st annual Master Gardener Plant Sale in the Tri-Cities. There will be a large selection of plants, veggies, fruits, garden art, and other outdoorsy type stuff. A Master Gardener will also be on hand to answer any and all questions you have about gardening. Admission is free, and the sale is on at the Highlands Grange Park starting today at 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. and later this weekend. And the Walla Walla Balloon Stampede is underway right now. There's hundreds of people helping out, from the ground crew to the balloon chasers and more. And look at how beautiful that is. Our very own Riley Fitzgerald is there, and we'll have a sneak peek tonight on Apple Valley News Now at 6. And also the whole story for us on Monday morning. President Biden will be landing in Seattle, so prepare yourself for delays at the airport if you'll be heading there. The FAA says restricted airspace will be in effect at SeaTac starting 5:15 today to 2:45 Saturday. And all traffic will be stopped on runways until Air Force One arrives and is parked.
And it's nice to see that the weather will cooperate for all of those outdoor events this weekend. Much better weather than what we had last weekend. Our temperatures are in the 40s and 50s to start off the morning, so you need that light jacket before stepping out the door. And today we're warming up a little bit more, 88 degrees with plenty of sunshine. Now, I do want to talk about the aurora forecast because we are expecting a geomagnetic storm over the next couple of days. So the best opportunity for us to see the northern lights here in Washington and Oregon will be tomorrow night. And the viewing tips are you'll want to get away from those city lights. The best time to view the potential northern lights will be from about 10 o'clock at night through around 2 a.m. So an hour or two before and after midnight, excuse me. Your 7-day forecast showing that we are in the 90s this weekend. Hot for Mother's Day. Humidity will be on the low side though. And then we cool down a little bit with 80s next week. 86 today in Yakima, 90 tomorrow, 89 for Mother's Day. And then we drop into the 70s, a little bit more comfortable early next week. 82 today in Walla Walla, mid to upper 80s this weekend, and we'll hit 90 in Hermiston tomorrow, 88 degrees on Mother's Day in Northeast Oregon. Jessica, back to you.
Thank you, Tiffany, and thank you for waking up with us and watching Good Morning Northwest. Your local news is back tonight at 5, and you can always find updates on our website, applevalleyNewsNow.com. Have a great weekend and have a great Mother's Day.